Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started. I'll call this meeting to order at 9:03 a.m. Give me one moment. We'll go ahead and start with the land acknowledgement. Associated Students recognizes and acknowledges the first people of this ancestral and unceded territory of Fernandinho Tataviam Band of Mission Indians that is now occupied by our campus of California State University Northridge, honors their elders past and present, and the descendants who are citizens of the Fernandinho Tataviam Band of Mission Indians. Associated Students recognizes that the tribe is still here, and we are committed to lifting up their stories, culture, and community. I'll now hand it over to Government Secretary Moss for the roll call.
Vice President Anderson.
Khan.
Why am I saying Anderson? Sorry. Vice President Khan.
Here.
Senator Aronson. Senator Ellis. Senator Flores.
Present.
Senator Gavino.
Here.
Senator Jimeniano Aragon.
Here.
Senator Harris.
Here.
Senator Covenia. Here. Senator Miyoshi.
Here.
Senator Nunez. Senator Olgan. Senator Perez.
Here.
Senator Pulliam.
Here.
Senator Weta.
Here.
Senator Shirzadi.
Here.
Senator Toledo Carranza. Senator Tran.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll now move on to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion on the floor for the approval of the agenda for November 18, 2024? Senator Pulliam.
I move to approve the agenda for November 18th.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Jimeniano Aragon. Any discussion on the approval of today's agenda? Seeing no discussion, if there are no objections to the approval of today's agenda, it will pass unanimously. Are there any objections? All right. The agenda passes unanimously. We'll now move on to the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Pulliam.
I move to approve the minutes from November 4th.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Flores. Any discussion on the approval of the minutes from November 4th? Senator Jimeniano Aragon.
Point of personal privilege.
Granted. Senator Nunez.
Permission to get recognized.
Granted. Thank you. Senator Aronson.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll now take this to a vote. If there are no objections to the approval of the minutes from November 4th, they will pass unanimously. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the minutes from November 4th pass unanimously. We'll now move on to special presentation. Our one and only special presentation is from EOP Trio for Student Support Services by Karina Alvaro Alcala. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. We are getting our presentation ready to go, but I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Karina Alvarado Alcala. I work for EOP Trio Student Support Services here at Cal State Northridge. Fun fact, I was a graduate senator back in 2020 and 2021. So it's great to see you all here in person. My actual time here was through Zoom, so it's nice to see you all here. So I started with Trio Student Support Services when I was a student. So Trio Student Support Services is a federally funded program that supports students on their academic journey here at CSUN. We are funded through the Department of Education, but at this institution, we are under the Educational Opportunity Program known as EOP. So what happened back in 2010, I'd like to give a little bit of history for our students. Back in 2010, EOP wanted to create another program so that they can support more students who are first generation, low income, and or students with disability. And so that's when they decided to write the grant for Trio Student Support Services. So we service about 140 students in the program, and usually these are students who are not part of EOP. So usually if you didn't qualify for EOP or you need another support program, then you would come and apply with us. With our program, you only need to meet one of the requirements, whether that's first generation, low income, and or a student with disability. So usually, if any student is looking for a support program, please refer them out to us. We'd be happy to support them. Again, we support them in academic base, personal base, and career development. So our goal really is to really help them build those professional skills so that when they graduate, they have something on their resume and then also in their career aspirations. So a lot of our students will either go into their career goals or career avenues or graduate school. So a lot of our students will go also to graduate school. So if you need any type of assistance there, we also help you out there as well. I also do have our advisor here today. So if she can just come up here and introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting us. My name is Jocelyn Torres Martinez. So I'm an advisor for the EOP TRIO Student Support Services Program. We're gonna go.
And if we can go on to the next slide. So again, my name is Karina. I am a double alumni from here. So I got my bachelor's in communication studies, and then I went on and did my master's in counseling with an emphasis in college counseling and student services. So if any of you all ever need assistance in applying to graduate school or again, any type of career development, I'd be happy to assist you. That's my contact information. I'm also an alumni from the TRIO Student Support Services Program, so it's really nice to be back in full circle. I do want to honor right now, we did this year, our past director, Frank Muñiz, that actually passed away. So he was actually our director for more than 15 years in the program. And so then I am moving into this new role, but I am certain that we'll continue on with this leadership as he left with a really great legacy with us. But I did want to honor him right now. And
So I actually went to California State University, Chico for my undergraduate. I did a Bachelor in Psychology and Child Development, and then I recently graduated from CSUN with a Master's in Higher Education Leadership.
So again, we're really here to support our students. It's really a home away from home. We know that we have a lot of commuter students at this institution. So we're really, again, trying to increase retention, persistence, and graduation rates for our first generation, low income and or students with disabilities. So if you didn't get us into EOP or you're like, I have no idea what EOP is, or you just need another support program on campus, please feel free to join us or tell your constituents or any of your students if they are interested in a support program or they just feel like they are alone at this institution. We are happy to support them at this institution.
So some of the services we provide are one-on-one meetings, whether it's with the peer mentors we have assigned to them or the professional staff members. We also do tutoring services. A lot of the students struggle with the subjects that they're doing. So we have the peer mentors, support them with that. And if it's very specific, we actually help them identify where the tutoring services are on campus. We provide a lot of assistance with graduate school applications, whether it's personal statements, a lot of resume, career, professional development as well. We invite students to participate in our events and give them kind of cultural and educational enhancement activities and opportunities, a lot of career and educational workshops for them.
So many of y'all may be wondering where are we located. We're located in Bahamian Hall 220. We're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The students will have access to a computer lab, a refrigerator, air fryer, coffee maker, toaster, and microwave. Again, a home away from home. We just want to make sure that they feel comfortable at this institution. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But I really hope that you all can go to our office.
So when students are part of the EOP TRIO Student Support Service Program, there are some requirements that they have to meet. For example, attend a general student meeting where we kind of give them an agenda of what events we have going on for them, what support we give, a lot of time management workshops and kind of get them getting to network with other students on campus. We also pair them up with a peer mentor. That way they can get the peer-on-peer support that they need. A lot of students are struggling with different things and they might not be aware that other students are as well. So we want to make sure that they connect with someone on campus, whether it's their peer mentor or a professional staff member on campus. So they are to meet with the peer mentors a minimum of twice a month, and with the professional staff members, whether it's for class registration or any support that they could need at this institution, twice a semester. We also do a lot of workshops for them to participate. We have social and cultural events, and then we do field trips as well. And then to give them a reason to come to school other than just for classes, we also have a requirement of 5 hours of community service per semester. That way they can build their resume if they're doing scholarships or doing graduate school, letter recommendations that they need, a lot of more involvement besides just coming for classes. We give them that opportunity as well. We have some student testimonials. So my best memory with the TRIO SSS program is when we went to San Diego for the Diversity in Higher Education Conference. That is the first time I was exposed to graduate schools. We went to Old Town San Diego for the first night and had so much fun. We walked around, got ice cream, then danced in the plaza all together. Having dinner with the TRIO family was a highlight of our trip. Another student said, returning to CSUN after taking a semester off due to personal reasons, I was sitting in the library and unsure what to do about school. I kept hearing people call my name, but I was ignoring it because I felt like I didn't know anyone at the school. When I looked up, it was Daniela and Vanessa calling me. It felt so good to see that they had remembered still. They showed me how much TRIO cares about my success. The EOP TRIO Student Support Services Program has helped me ease into college and have an overall better experience here at CSUN. Coming into college, I wasn't sure of what to expect since I'm a first in my family to attend a university. The EOP TRIO Student Support Services Program has created a safe space for me to feel welcome and more involved here at the CSUN campus. Being involved in the program's events as well as field trips has opened new opportunities for me to meet new people and gain tasks that have helped me grow as an individual. The EOP TRIO Student Support Services Program has given me the chance to feel like I am part of this community and have a belonging here at CSUN. I have been in the program for 3 years and a peer mentor for 2 of those years. TRIO has felt a safe space for me to be in. I came in as a transfer and was overwhelmed with the transition of coming from a community college to university, and TRIO gave me a feeling of belonging. Everyone made me feel like I was meant to be here at CSUN and were super supportive along the way. The program has been such a big part of my journey here at CSUN, and now I get to give back to other students as a peer mentor. This program has not only been a huge support system, but everyone in the program has taught me so much. I will always be thankful for my TRIO family. TRIO works.
So I'm just going to quickly go over our process in order for you to apply for TRIO Student Support Services. So in order for you to apply to TRIO Student Support Services, you will see our application online under EOP TRIO Student Support Services at CSUN. All the application is in a virtual format. You will be able to fill in everything that you may need. We will need 2 forms of IDs and then your financial aid index. Depending on what financial aid you go ahead and fill out, you just will go ahead and send that over to us. Once we see that you meet at least one of the criteria, whether you're first generation, low income, and or a student with disability, then you'll be invited to an interview. And really this interview is to really see how can we support you and guide you throughout your years here at CSUN. So it's really just to start setting up and building up that relationship with those students. And I don't know how much time we have for a video. Would you all like to hear from our students?
Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And this is a video that was filmed during the pandemic.
My name is Maria. I was born in Mexico and was raised in Hollywood. 23 years ago, I visited CSUN. I wanted to come to the university, but I couldn't because I was undocumented. So 23 years later, when I was a citizen, I look back, and here I am. I'm about to graduate this May. It has been my dream. And I do believe that dreams come true because mine is becoming true.
One thing for sure is that
One of the challenges that I faced was definitely being accepted. So one thing I've always had was like I had a learning disability. So being with that, I was so afraid to ask for help. I had some dyslexia when I was younger, and I would always mix up like kind of like my words as well as like I didn't know how to read and write as proficiently as like the rest of my academic colleagues. So one thing for sure is that I needed extra time, I needed extra help, and I always took advantage of those resources, but I always overcame it. Hi, my name is Vanessa. My major is sociology and my minor is civic and community engagement. My journey started back when I was 16 years old and I was a single mom at such a young age. I really faced some struggles growing up and I eventually got into a very bad drug addiction. And I decided that it was time to change my life after years of suffering. And that's when I decided that I wanted to go back to school. So I applied back to CSUN back in 2017 and I came back, I got accepted. And I can honestly say that that was the best decision I made in my life because I decided to come back and pursue an education that I am really, really proud of having now. And I also want to say that my son has also followed in my footsteps. He is now a college student himself. So I am proud to say that through my school and through my support system at Trio, I have learned how to overcome my challenges and how to be where I am today.
How I got here at CSUN, I was a re-entry student, 51, married, divorced, and had to raise my children and granddaughter. It wasn't an easy street, but I made it. One of the things I would like to talk about was I didn't think that I didn't think that I was good enough for CSUN. So it was my first day entering my classroom, CADB 350. And that moment when we all stepped in the classroom, sat down, and the teacher said, "Good afternoon, scholars." And I thought, who is she talking to? Dr. Grote said, "We are scholars." After class, I talked to her and I told her, "Dr. Grote, I just started." She said, "You did not make it to CSUN by mistake. You are a scholar." And with that, I was able to spread my wings. I got involved in Trio.
What I have enjoyed most being in SSS, even though it's been 2 very short years that I've been in SSS, is all the fun that I had and all the trips that we took as part of our cultural events, all the workshops that SSS has provided for us. Even in a pandemic, they were super helpful with the workshops that we did through Zoom, all of the cultural events that we did through Zoom as well. That was really fun. And I continue to be so grateful for that, even after graduating. What I really enjoyed is forming relationships with my peers and mentors and the director of SSS. All of those relationships mean the world to me because I will look back on my undergrad experience and thank them and remember them for all that they did for me, all the lessons that I learned from them, every piece of advice that they've ever given me. I will remember that when I move on into the professional world after graduation, and I couldn't have gotten that same experience anywhere else but SSS.
One thing I would like to say is the most important thing is that I experienced Trio, and I leave this for the future students. If you're like me, I'm first-time generation, re-entry student, Trio is the hub. They will guide you, but I must say, you have to put in the work as well. And they will teach you the leadership. You will learn how to multitask and get to those classes and also still have fun. And you can enjoy it just with Trio.
I will be a lawyer. I will be a marriage therapist. I will be director of a nonprofit.
And those are just some testimonies of some of our students in our program, and a little bit of what we do in a short video. Again, if there are any students who you talk to who need some sort of support program, feel free to refer them out to us. We'd be happy to have them in our program. I also do want to take the moment to thank you all for also being one of our sponsors for the First Generation College Celebration. I'm going to go ahead and have Jocelyn talk a little bit about the numbers and a lot of the outcome of that great event.
So we've looked at the sign-in sheet, and there was 271 students who signed in. And so the sign-ins were located by the food because there could have been more in attendance who didn't sign in. But in terms of the people who come checked in, and the fact that we have such high numbers and the representation of students who are on campus, a lot of students themselves, when they were signing in with me, didn't even realize that they themselves were first-generation student. They're like, oh, my older sibling was the first to go to college. And I'm like, as long as your parent or guardians didn't obtain their bachelor's degree in the United States, and this also qualifies you as first gen. So be celebrated, be here. This is an event for you. So a lot of education came in with the sign-in sheets. But we had 271 who physically signed in as well.
And again, we just want to thank you all for being one of our sponsors and really being out there and celebrating with us. Thank you, Denise. I know she helped us a lot with the back ends. And then I know Omar, but I don't see Omar here right now, was also assisting us with our back ends. And then President, thank you so much for being there and sharing your story with all the students. We also did have an open forum where students were able to talk about their experiences. I know we also have Senator Alvaro here that discussed about their experiences. Many of the students cried, laughed, and just shared really great memories of them at this institution and how they also got here. So again, thank you so much. I hope that we can continue this collaboration in the near future. And thank you all for letting us be here. Does anyone have any question about our program?
I just wanted to say thank you very quickly to Karina for coming and speaking to us on EOP Trio. For those of you that don't know, my dad actually works in EOP, so seeing Karina here today, it just makes me really happy to see the representation here.
Anyone have any questions? Oh, Senator Nunez.
I don't have a question, but I just want to thank you all for all the work that you do because I know it impacts a lot of students, and having these resources to these category of students like first gen, low income, and with disabilities, they feel underrepresented. And especially in a campus like this, even though it's a commuter school, like you don't really feel like, you feel like, oh my God, everyone belongs here. Like you don't really feel like you think you're an imposter syndrome. So having these like resources for them really does make an impact, and you guys are really like influencing a lot of these student lives for them to actually stay at CSUN and not just feel like they need to leave. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Senator Toledo Carranza.
Permission to recognize.
Great.
Oh,
Senator Hemion. Oh,
I'll say something too.
okay, go ahead.
Hi, Karina. Thank you so much for the event. I feel like last year it was successful as well. I'm so glad for EOP and Trio to be collaborating with the AS, knowing that amount of like first generation students here at CSUN. It's like, it was so beautiful. So I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Senator Hemiana Aragon.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted.
And I also have one question for Karina. I was looking at the statistics just in the universities in America, and especially like we went to Haku. So I was wondering, like the statistics show that even though Latino students have been enrolling in universities, the graduation rates have been stagnated. What do you think is that factor that we could help students either access or create any resource so that students could get more support from the university? And then, of course, that would reflect that increment in the graduation rates.
Yeah, really great question. I definitely feel like we already have the resources, right? EOP, TRIO Student Support Services, and we have also the mentorship program, right? So really just informing the students about the services that we have and really following up with them, right? A lot of them need that follow-up to say, hey, we're here, how can we support you, right? And it's a lot of work. And this is why we tell our students, like, we're here for you. We have an office where you can come to, because a lot of them, what they're missing is that motivation, right? The self-efficacy to continue and be determined to continue on their education. So really, again, if you feel like there's a student that needs just a little bit more support, inform them about our program and we'd be happy to guide them.
Thank you.
I think that's it. But thank you so much to you all for coming here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I'll be shouting out the first gen event during my report. If you stick around. Oh, it's gonna be very soon. Okay, we'll now move on to open forum. Open forum is intended as an opportunity for any member of the public to address the Associated Students Senate regarding any issues affecting CSUN students. Speakers are allowed 3 minutes each to speak. Please sign in using the clipboard for minute recording purposes. Oh, surprise.
I was thinking I need more of like a stamp that I could just stamp, just to make it a little bit more consistent. I think that makes it easier. Good morning, everybody. I feel like it's been a while since I've been here. For those of you who don't know, my name is James Forrester. I serve as the AS Programs Manager. I'm here today just to provide you a little bit of an update about some of the events that we have going on. We are nearing the end of the semester, so our productions and sustainability team actually only have 4 more events left for the semester. So 2 of them are this week. So this week on Tuesday, tomorrow, we will have our final refill and repair farmers market of the semester. So again, if any of you have any clothing items that need a button to be sewn on, or they need a certain patch to be kind of put on, or you have a rip in your clothing or something wrong with an issue with like a zipper or something, you can bring that to the market. We get it repaired for free for you. Also be sure to bring any glass jars or plastic bottles that you want to refill for soap, shampoo, conditioner, other things like that. So that'll be going on tomorrow from 10 to 2 in Matador Square. We're also gonna have a couple other cool people out there as well. And then this Thursday, we'll have our Thursday thrift event. So our only one of the semester. So bring clothing items that you have from home that maybe you're looking to donate that you can either swap with people. We'll also have multiple vendors there that you could potentially do swaps with them. It's gonna be a pretty cool event. So that'll be Thursday from 10 to 2 out on Baramian Lawn. So those are 2 events this week. Next week, we will not have a farmer's market. Historically, because it's Thanksgiving week, there's just less people on campus. So it doesn't make sense to have farmer's market. So if you rely on the farmer's market for food, next week, there'll be no market. And then after that, the following week, week 15, we have 2 events. So our final farmer's market of the semester, which will be a normal farmer's market. And we'll also be having our finals are a drag event. I believe that is on Wednesday, December 4th. It'll be here actually in this room. We bring a couple local drag performers in. We do drag bingo, performances, awesome prizes, all that kind of stuff. So those are the 4 events that we have coming up for the remainder of this semester. And if you guys have any questions, you all know where to find me. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, James. Ooh, thanks for waving to the live stream. Is there anyone else here for open forum? Oh, you're here for open forum. Senator Ellis?
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Malfunction with the mic.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good day. So I'm just here to do a brief report on what HACU was, just for the people who are not, who do not know. HACU, it stands for the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities. And I had the opportunity to go, I think it was 2 weeks ago, to Colorado to go to a conference. We had a lot of fun going as CSUN representatives. We were about 30 students. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity. It made me grow so much as a person, and especially my networking skills. I had opportunities to meet with different companies. So that was especially very interesting. And also it was very open-minded and very eye-opener in terms of how the universities are treating first-generation students, Latino first-generation students, and how many advocates we have. And it was great to know their experiences from their backgrounds and from their universities. Just a few workshops that I attended. I had the Power of You workshop, which was really great in terms of how to build my professional profile and also how to sell myself in terms of to companies. You only have 1 minute, so you really have to stand out to them. And we also had the opportunity to attend a DEI forum on Hispanic serving institutions. And they discussed a lot about policies, anti-DEI policies, and what are the efforts of different institutions to make education more equitable for first-generation Latino students. Overall, I just want to also shout out TRIO, EOP, right? Because I think just getting to know the students from EOP and just how bright and talented they are. And I think that what they did was an amazing experience for them. They realized how much their voice matters. And that's why I would really encourage you all to reach out to your constituents and let them know about these opportunities and the resources that they can access. And of course, to you all, if there are any other opportunities like this, so that you can also apply for it. And also to CSUN, a great shout out from all of the institutions and everyone attending there. We were the only ones who had deaf students. So and it was the first time, I think, for Haku. So definitely we are making we're making our voices heard, and we are also letting them know that we are a diverse community and that we are here to really make a change. Thank you. I don't know if there's any questions. No, thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else here for open forum? Okay, seeing none. And also just remind you, everyone, we do have a special meeting agenda at 9:45. Not sure if we'll be able to get through the whole agenda in 10 minutes, but if we don't, I'll temporarily adjourn the meeting, do the special meeting, come back, the whole thing. Okay. I'll go ahead and start with reports, starting with mine. Good morning, everyone. Happy to see your faces after, well, we didn't have Senate last week, so was that 2 weeks? 2 weeks? Okay, thank you. So glad to be back. I'll say this really quick because I'm going to say it at some point in my report. I was just at Camp Flognaw this last weekend. It was amazing. I went last year for the first time, and then this past weekend was the 10-year anniversary. It was nuts. Invested in VIP in June, and I ended up going, and then it also ended up being the same weekend as a CSSA plenary. That's exciting, and so I had to miss some of that, which is okay. And I'm exhausted, so if I'm not top energy today, please forgive me, but yeah, I just want to say that. If you want any videos or want to talk about Camp Flognaw, I'll show you. I recorded a lot. I was totally in the moment. Okay. So we'll get started with my report. So kind of reporting on last week and then the week before, because we didn't have Senate. So in the span of those 2 weeks, we had a personnel board meeting. We had our monthly faculty senate meeting, which I give reports at. And then we had the North Campus Development Board meeting, which we approved essentially a part of campus, the north of campus where the F10 parking lot is, was approved to be leased to Valley United Soccer, for them to make a soccer field for them on CSUN property, which is cool. And then we had a CSUN Act Now meeting, kind of just debriefing all of the elections work and stuff like that with, I was in that meeting with our chair of legislative affairs who just walked in, shout out. And then we had IRA, where we approved $55,640 to the RTM department, as well as $21,000 to the social work department. And then the CFAC, or Campus Fee Advisory Committee, and we just had a presentation of the CSUN Ready fee, which the committee tabled to be approved at our next meeting. So we didn't approve it at that meeting, but we had tabled the motion for our next meeting, which is going to be in another month. I had the chance, as our representatives from EOP and TRIO mentioned, I had the chance to speak at the ASX. It was like 4 organizations that were collaborating. It was amazing. The first generation event, and it was a great opportunity, and I'm always very happy to speak on, you know, any of my personal experiences that like brought me to where I am now. Just because I'm sure everyone that like grew up in a very like multifaceted landscape can acknowledge that every one of those facets really is the biggest contributor to the person that you are today. So I'm always happy to talk about it. So it was a great opportunity, and I appreciate the opportunity again. And DEI week is also this week, so Omar's been busy. So make sure to check out any of his events throughout the day, throughout the week. I think today is the Revolutionary Scholars Mixer from 1 to 3. Yeah. So if you have the chance, please feel free to stop by. And then last week, I attended an event on behalf of the Foundation Board of Directors with President Emerita and Chancellor Emerita Jolene Kester and President Beck. And they just had the conversations about, you know, the struggles in higher education currently, especially with the election, and, you know, what their roles as leaders in the CSU and CSUN. Well, Jolene is not in a position anymore. She's like done. She was president for 11 years at CSUN, and I think she finished her term in 2011. Yeah, she was 2000 to 2011. And then she became the interim chancellor for, I think, 18 months as of last year. She finished last fall. Yeah, something like that. And so she came to campus. So it was a great honor, you know, meeting her, and she's provided like outstanding leadership to CSUN for a long time. Also had the chance with a bunch of other people from AS to attend the CSUN men's basketball game. It was their first home game last week against Noble University, and we swept the game. It was 98-50. So that was a great experience, and huge shout out to athletics. They're really hospitable, and they were great hosts for us to go. And Iman and I actually just had a meeting with them last week to find ways to better collaborate with them. And if any of you are interested in getting involved in that conversation, let me know. But yeah, just any ways that we can to collaborate. And then also attended Big Lecture last week. Shout out to Productions and James. Fantastic, super successful event. And I was very proud of, you know, everyone and the great work that, you know, all the producers put into it, and marketing, and shout out marketing or RNSC too. And yeah, it was a fantastic event. And Josh Peck was very cool and very nice. So yeah, it was a great event. The crowd seemed to have loved it. As I mentioned earlier, we had the CSSA plenary on Saturday. I had to miss 2 out of the 4 meetings, unfortunately, but it was still pretty chill. Our next one is going to be in January at San Francisco State University. Go Gators. Just kidding, go Matadors. And then I think that's it for me. Just some reminders. You should have all gotten an email to register for Reboot Camp. That registration is due on November 22nd, which I think is a Friday. This Friday. And then also this Friday, I also emailed everyone, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, about meeting one of the CSU trustees. A lot of you guys have gone back to me, which I really appreciate. This meeting is like about 15 minutes. I don't know the exact logistics, but check your emails. I sent everyone an email about it. And please let me know by this Friday if you'd like to be a part of that meeting, which you should be. You should be interested. If you can, you should go. It's a great experience. And then last thing, we have our group photo today at 11 o'clock. Assumingly it's at Matador Square. I don't know where else we would take our photo. Yeah, it's going to be at Matador Square, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So meet at Matador Square or meet in the office, but for sure, photo is going to be around 11 o'clock. Shouldn't take that long, but please be ready to do that. But that's it for me. Have a fantastic rest of your week, everyone, and let me know if you need anything. Thank you. Is there any questions on the president's report? Okay, seeing none, we'll now move on to the vice president's report with Vice President Khan.
Good morning. 2 weeks worth of reports. lots to talk about. Luckily, a lot of it has been cut. So thank you, Katie, for going before me every week. So starting from 2 weeks ago, the 4th, big party happened. It was a total success. Our chair of legislative affairs and lobby corps really educated the community. I was able to be there for a lot of it, and I got to see like the work they put in. And honestly, like I wish my first election I got that knowledge, especially on the propositions and whatnot. So I really want to see that kept up by Associated Students in general for the future. And then, of course, elections happen the next day, and that's all I will say about that. Take care of yourselves. And last week or 2 weeks ago, Katie and I met with a couple of clubs to discuss how the TPM policy affects them and what they want to see as support from associated students. So currently, we're kind of in the education and learning stage on both sides, where we're kind of aligning ourselves and getting on the same page. And then I virtually attended the California College Affordability Summit, specifically a basic needs panel moderated by Chair of Ledge. She was busy that week. Wow. It was really insightful. And the progression towards meeting basic needs for all students, it's headed down the right path, in my opinion. But it's really important to consider the student voice, because we can't provide basic needs for students without the students putting their input in. So definitely take any opportunity you have to speak up about yourself or, people you're surrounded by, and call out where strengths and weaknesses are. And this is like a very important topic. So I'm sure it'll come up time and time again. Then I did meet with Dr. Beck and Dr. Watkins, and we discussed the Matadors First mentality with the happenings that week. And then we kind of shifted the conversation into what might happen next in January with potential budget cuts from the state level and how CSUN might choose to navigate that. So I'm right now trying to gather accurate information and resources to share, or I'm trying to look for someone to present to us, to kind of educate us and see what role we play in that and what we can do to advocate for ourselves. Last week, I attended the NAMES Task Force System-Wide Committee, and it's exactly what it sounds like. We talk about names and how they're used, and it's really crazy to see how every single little thing is so choreographed, and it's interesting. I'm not trying to, talk down on it at all, but it was really interesting. I will be on a subcommittee regarding the implementation of it, which is exciting. So trainings and whatnot. And then as President Karum mentioned, CSSA was this weekend. It was held virtually. In System-Wide Affairs, Ellen Cesarati Monroy, she's the senior consultant for the California Assembly Committee on Higher Education. She presented on how post-secondary education institutions can address sex discrimination and provide educational justice on campus. She broke down who enacts policy, how complaints are adjudicated, and a call to action bill package. And we, as the student reps, got to discuss Title IX in 2025 and beyond. And the conversation was very insightful. I am a very big Ellen Cesarati Monroy fan. She wrote a lot of legislation on Title IX, and she's very well-versed. She joked with me about how her title doesn't really cover what she does. And so I'm totally willing to share the information I got from that, about our conversation, takeaways from her presentation, even sharing that was so weird. Wow. That was like the universe being like, I want that presentation. Sorry. So yeah, I'm open to sitting down and talking about it if you would like. And then as for fun things that happened, Save the Bees was really awesome. I really liked seeing the productions team in their antennas, and I did want a pair, but they told me they ran out, and I was really hurt. So next time you guys show up with antennas, please save me a pair. And then as President Crew mentioned, Big Lecture was a hit, and the turnout was really great. I didn't realize how many Josh Peck stands there were in the world. Kind of random. But that concludes my report. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Vice President Khan. Any questions on the Vice President's report? Okay, seeing none, we'll now, oh, so it is 9:47, so I'm actually going to, give me one moment. I'm going to if there are no objections, I will temporarily adjourn the meeting to move into our special meeting agenda. I see no objections. So we're gonna go into our special meeting agenda very quickly. So I'll call this special meeting to order at 9:48 a.m. I'll hand it over to Government Secretary Moss for the roll call.
Vice President Khan,
Here.
Senator Aronson,
Here.
Senator Ellis,
Here.
Senator Flores,
Here.
Senator Gavino,
Here.
Senator Geminiano Aragon,
Here.
Senator Harris,
Here.
Senator Covenia,
Here. Here.
Senator Miyoshi,
Here.
Senator Nunez,
Here.
Senator Olgan, Senator Perez,
Here.
Senator Pulliam,
Here.
Senator Weta,
Here.
Senator Shirzadi,
Here.
Senator Toledo Carranza,
Here.
Senator Tran. Thank you. Quorum.
Thank you. We'll now move on to the approval of the agenda, the special meeting agenda for November 14th. Is there? Oh, so we might need an amendment. So if I would recommend an amendment to the special meeting agenda. Vice President Khan.
I move to amend the line item 3, approval of the agenda to read November 18th, 2024, rather than November 14th, 2024.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Perez. Any discussion on the amendment? Seeing no discussion, if there are no objections to the amendment to the special meeting agenda, it will pass unanimously. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we'll now move. Oh, we never got. I just did it kind of out of order, but I think I can still do it. To actually just approve the agenda. Do I just ask for another motion? As amended, right? Okay. That's why we need an attorney general shout out. So we'll now, I'm gonna ask for a motion for the approval of the agenda as amended. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Aronson.
I move to approve the special meeting agenda for November 18th, 2024 as amended.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Perez. Any discussion on the special meeting agenda as amended? Seeing no discussion, if there are no objections, it will pass unanimously. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the special meeting agenda as amended, the amended special meeting agenda passes unanimously. Wow, that's a mouthful. Seeing there's no special presentation, we'll move into open forum. Is there anyone here for open forum? Okay, seeing none, there are no reports. We'll go straight into new business. Our only item is to approve the CDE and CFA resolution in regards to funding for the preschool program for the 2025-26 school year. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Toledo Carranza.
I move to approve the CDE and CFA resolution in regards to funding for the preschool program for the 2025-2026 school year.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Aronson. Any discussion? Tim, could you provide some clarity on this for everyone?
I will. So this is a resolution to allow for the executive director and the director of the Children's Center to conduct business with the state of California. We have about I'm going to be a little bit off, about $250,000 that is allocated from the state that goes to help support our students who have children in the center. So basically what this is saying is that you all approve it, and then it allows myself and Lena, the director, to basically conduct business, to do the reports, generate the funds, and bring them in to support our students.
Thank you, Tim. Shout out, Tim. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll now take this to a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand to approve the CDE and CFA resolution. Thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we'll now move to final roll call with Government Secretary Moss.
Vice President Khan.
Here.
Senator Aronson.
Here.
Senator Ellis.
Here.
Senator Flores.
Here.
Senator Gavino.
Here.
Senator Geminiano Aragon.
Here.
Senator Harris.
Here.
Senator Covenia.
Here.
Senator Miyoshi,
Here.
Senator Nunez.
Here.
Senator Olgun. Senator Perez.
Here.
Senator Pulliam.
Here.
Senator Weta.
Here.
Senator Shirzadi.
Here.
Senator Toledo Carranza.
Here.
Senator Tran.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will adjourn this special meeting at 9:53 a.m. I'll now move back into our main agenda, picking up where we left off, for the Chief of Staff's report with Chief of Staff Ramos.
Good morning, everyone. It's quite chilly outside, and I don't know how to feel about it, but we continue on. All right, as for my report, I am planning a AS leadership training on January 15th, so please mark that in your calendars. I will be sending an invite with more information later on today, but please know that this training is required. You have to go to this unless you're like out of town or have something really important to do. And if it is one of those things, please email Katie and then we'll talk from that point on. That's all for me. And then as for Chair of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, they got a lot done within the past 2 weeks. Last Tuesday, the chair of DEI hosted the First Generation College Students event, which featured lunch, activities, and a raffle. It was a fantastic event. I showed up, I tabled, a lot of our peers spoke during this call-up thing, and it was really beautiful. A lot of people had like wonderful things to say and shared wonderful stories. So, shout out to Omar for pulling that together. And then this week is DEI week, also known as Together We Thrive. So you'll see posters out and about outside. As Katie mentioned, today is the collaboration with Revolutionary Scholars. From 1 to 3, the location is the Thousand Oaks Room if you guys are interested in attending. Tomorrow is Cultural Day from 3 to 6. It's going to be held at the Northridge Center, and cultural clubs will be tabling, sharing their traditions, and offering food samples. And then on Wednesday from 2 to 4 at Matador Square, there will be a workshop that provides information about campus resources, including the food pantry and financial assistance to help students meet their basic needs and succeed, essentially. And then on Thursday from 4 to 6, there will be a Deaf and Hard Hearing Day with guest speakers and a Q&A session that will be held in the Tonga room of the East Conference Center. So if you guys are interested, please let me know or talk to Omar. And again, there's like flyers and posters out everywhere of the dates, the time, and the location. And then as for Chair of Legislative Affairs, she also completed a lot within the past 2 weeks. Shout out to the Chair of Legislative Affairs and Lobby Corps for hosting Big Party. It was a great event, and as our VP said, it educated a lot of students, so shout out to you guys. And on top of that, 2 weeks ago, the Chair of Legislative Affairs moderated a discussion on basic needs of students at the California Student Aid Commission College Affordability Summit. That was affordable. November 7th. There was like over 1,000 viewers, and they were very happy with that outcome. And then they also had their first meeting with the Campaign for College Opportunity as part of the cohort of students of Student Leadership Institute. And then as for the chair personnel and communications, they're finalizing some projects as well as waiting on eligibility checks. And then please don't forget, today is the group photo that will take place at Matador statue at 11. So please be there or you will not be part of the picture. It's true. General elections. The AS elections logo is in progress with AS marketing, and then the election calendar is also in progress and should be submitted within the next few weeks or even days. And they're also outreaching to classmates and students on campus about joining the elections committee. And that is all for my report today. Thank you.
Thank you. We always give applauses at the random reports. It's not fun. Is there any questions on or any discussion on the Chief of Staff's report? Questions? All right. Seeing none, we'll now move on to the Chair of Finance report with Chair Ponce.
Hey everyone, first off, I hope you all had a great weekend. I'll start off with the updated account funds. So under STAR, there is currently $159,400. In unassigned contingency, there is $698,887. In the philanthropy fund, there is $15,000. And in clubs and organizations travel, there is $25,000. And now for my report. So last week, Finance Committee didn't meet, and this week we have two action items on the agenda that we're going to be discussing. It's two supplemental requests. The past week, I got to attend the University Planning and Budget Committee, where I got to hear a panel on philanthropy on behalf of the university, and I heard from the various university directors and how the college deans use philanthropy in the various colleges. And then for the Campus Fee Advisory Committee, there was a discussion on the CSUN Ready program, which was great to hear more about. And aside from that, Finance 101 sessions are still taking place until December 2nd. The last day to submit the annual budget is December 6th. And aside from that, I'm currently working with our controller on better ways to notify students on the hospitality policy, since that won't be uploaded to the AS website until later this month, or maybe even early December. But aside from that, just continuing to work on STAR and supplemental requests and helping out students as best as I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Ponce. Any questions on the Chair of Finance's report? Okay, seeing none, we'll now move on to our standing committee reports, starting with External Affairs with Senator Geminiano Aragon.
Thank you. So for last External Affairs Committee, we discussed on the resolution draft for the TPM policy. This week we will do that again, especially now focused on the resolved section. And that's it for me.
Oh, short. Okay, any questions on the External Affairs report? Seeing none, we'll move into the Internal Affairs report with Senator Gavina.
Mine will also be very short. Good morning. We have 4 legislative referrals that regarding ethical spending within the organization, cabinet member codes, and AS elections. Also attended the CFAC meeting where we had that discussion about CSUN Ready. Very interesting. And we also have a motion out of committee today, the last for this round from that one referral. So yeah, we can move into that.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions on the Internal Affairs report before we go into the motion out of committee? Okay, seeing none, we'll now go straight into discussion on the motion out of committee to approve the Chair of Legislative Affairs Code as amended. I hope you all got a chance to check it out. Is there any discussion on the approval of the Chair of Legislative Affairs Code as amended? Senator Gavino.
I will go over this very quickly, as I usually do. So yes, I hope you all read it, but just going through it, the changes to this code remove the Assistant Chair of Legislative Affairs, which is a position that we have not had in AS for a little bit, and that is not budgeted. So we saw it fit to remove their duties, and that committee does have a vice chair, Lobby Corps does. So yeah, we changed big politics to big party because that is the event that the Chair of Legislative Affairs holds. I'll move on to the Northridge East neighborhood in a second, but going a little further down, we changed the member of Lobby Corps members to reflect the change in the Lobby Corps code that we had done previously. And also, so from 4 to 5 and then up to 6 during a general California state gubernatorial election or general United States presidential election. And then removing the duties of the Assistant Chair of Legislative Affairs. And then moving back a little bit to Section 2, line 7. Typically, the Chair of Legislative Affairs is the one appointed to the Northridge East Neighborhood Council, but it is really up to the AS president to decide who to appoint to that council. So the changes here just state it should be the Chair of Legislative Affairs, but if it's not, that person who is appointed should report to the chair of legislative affairs because that falls under their duties. But those are all the changes that we've made to this code. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Gavino. Are there any further discussion on the approval of the Chair of Legislative Affairs Code as amended? Okay, seeing none, we'll take it to a vote. All in favor of approving the Chair of Legislative Affairs Code as amended, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right. We'll now move into the University Affairs Report with Senator Aronson.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Can't believe there's only 3 weeks left in the semester. I hope everybody feels good about how the semester has gone so far, and I hope everybody enjoys their winter break when that comes around. University Affairs is working on 10 legislative referrals, but we're small, but we're mighty, and we're looking forward to getting as much done as we can before the semester ends. Yeah, that's it for my report.
Thank you. Is there any questions on the University Affairs Report? Seeing none, we'll now move into the Executive Director's Report with Interim Executive Director Tim Szypanski.
Hello, everybody. A couple of things. In sport clubs, men's soccer took second in Arizona this week. Our men's basketball team won their season opener, and men's volleyball took third place for the third consecutive tournament that they were in. So consistency is good. Outdoor adventures, they had 2 day hikes over the weekend. Their Camp Matador applications for lead staff will be coming online or are online. And then on December, the Monday after the break, their Hawaii and Alaska trips are going on sale. So if you're interested in Hawaii or Alaska, 2 beautiful places, check it out. And then the last thing I'll leave you with is, as we get to the end here, is really think about your time management skills, or work on them a little bit, with finals, with holidays, with all the pressures that are kind of looming on people. Try not to fall behind, especially in your scholarly duties, and then just communicate if it gets really stressful for you. So, but work on that with only 3 weeks left. Have a good day.
Such random claps. Thank you, Tim. Are there any questions on the AS Executive Director's Report? Okay, seeing none, we'll now move into the University Advisor's Report with Asia Butler. She is not here, but she has let me know she has nothing to report. Okay, so we'll go to the Faculty Advisor's Report with Dr. Veda Ward.
Good morning, everyone. I hope that you all are well. I wore my mask today because I'm protecting you from my granddaughter's 7-year-old germs. So it goes both ways. All right. Big words for this time of the semester: assessment. So some of you all are hearing this word in your classes. Assessment goes in 2 directions. It can be both formative, moving forward, and then summative, where we've been and where we're going. So again, some of these items that you're given may be online. They may give you, something in class that you have to do, etc. But remember that that's one of the ways that the university learns how effective we are in delivering materials and experiences for you to have on campus. So of course, it's not only about the classroom, but that balance between your internal, intramural, extramural activities while you're here as students. So please fill those things out, and remember that we read them and we want to know what those are about. So formative and summative assessment, those come in 2 forms: quantitative and qualitative, which you've all heard those words before, whether you are summarized in terms of a number or you get some type of verbal feedback, written or oral communication. So again, how do you grow as an individual? And then how do we grow as an institution? And then the last word that I'll share with you today is evaluations. remember that you are going to be asked to participate in online evaluations of your courses. So that's a really important thing. I believe that the university standard is that at least 50% of all students respond. For me, as a faculty member, I want everybody's voice to be heard. So when those things pop up on your Canvas or online, please encourage your constituents to know that we really do want that feedback. It isn't just one more thing to do. And we really want to hear your voices on that. So with that, I'm hoping that you all finish up with great internships, externships, all of those things. Remember to leave behind a great message of who you are as CSUN students. And I want to applaud, of course, our EOP TRIO folks, because in that video you saw that the age of an undergraduate student is not 4 years. It isn't between 18 and 22. You can see that we have a wide range of age groups as well as diverse backgrounds. So again, pat those students on the back, and I applaud everyone for coming and talking about that today. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ward. Any questions on the faculty advisors report? Okay, seeing none, we'll move past unfinished business into new business. Our only item is to approve one appointment. Is it Naria? Oh my God, I was so off. Jeez. Naraya Martinez for Attorney General. Wow, this is a fantastic appointment. Thank you for doing this. Okay, is there a motion on the floor? Senator Aronson.
I move to approve Naraya Martinez to be our Attorney General.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Flores. Any discussion on the appointment? Okay, seeing none. We'll take it to a vote. All in favor of approving Naraya Martinez for Attorney General, please raise your hand. This passes unanimously. Congratulations. Wow, congratulations to me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have so much more time. Oh my God. Wow. Thank you again. So we'll move past information items and discussion items into legislative referrals. We have 5. These are the last ones for the fall semester. So any more that you submitted after 9 a.m. today are going to be considered for the spring semester. So this first one is by Senator Olgan, titled Request for Installation of Additional Pedestrian Crosswalks at Jacaranda Walk, Lot F4. The intersection on Jacaranda Walk near Lot F4 and the Performance Hall currently features only one pedestrian crosswalk. This area experiences heavy foot traffic from students, faculty, and visitors, especially with the flow of traffic coming from the Matador Road and Lindley Avenue, as well as vehicles associated with the CSUN shuttle services. Given the multiple pathways converging at this point, the single crosswalk is insufficient for ensuring the safety of pedestrians. Adding 2 more crosswalks at this intersection will provide safer crossing options for pedestrians coming from various directions, and implementing 2 more stop signs at the intersection will help regulate vehicle traffic, ensuring drivers are alert to pedestrian activity and reducing the likelihood of accidents. Wow. Okay, this was suggested to External Affairs, and I will send this to External Affairs. Normally I would send this to University Affairs, but you guys are packed. Oh, why did I do that? Okay, the next one by Senator Olgan. Oh, does she submit? Oh, this is a completely new, different. Give me 1 second, everyone. Sorry about that. Okay. So it's essentially the same location request, but 2 different things for you all to know. So the title from Senator Olgan, the title is Request for Installation of Traffic Lights at Jacaranda Walk and Lindley Avenue intersection. Is this the same exact? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. The intersection at Jacaranda Walk and Lily Avenue is a critical point for both pedestrian and vehicle traffic. However, the current lack of traffic lights has led to unsafe conditions, particularly with the high volume of cars rushing through the area. The situation poses a significant risk of accidents as vehicles often do not yield to pedestrians and fail to take turns properly. This issue is exacerbated on Tuesdays during the farmers market. When foot traffic increases dramatically along with the presence of vendor vehicles, the lack of regulated traffic flow creates frustration and potential hazards for everyone navigating this busy intersection. Traffic lights would help ensure that vehicles yield to pedestrians and that all parties have the opportunity to navigate the intersection safely. By providing clear signals for both vehicles and pedestrians, we can reduce the likelihood of accidents and improve overall safety, particularly during peak times like the farmers market. Traffic lights would facilitate smoother access for vendor vehicles during market hours, allowing for better organization and safety. Suggested to External Affairs, and it will go to External Affairs. Third one is from Senator Olgan again, titled EV charging stations at CSUN Family Housing. The request states, I propose installing EV charging stations at the CSUN University Village Apartments, also known as UVA, to promote sustainability and inclusivity for all students, particularly our non-traditional and parenting scholars. While CSUN dorms are equipped with charging stations, UVA currently lacks this essential resource, which limits accessibility for residents who rely on electric vehicles. Providing EV charging options would demonstrate our commitment to equitable treatment and support for all members of the CSUN community. This was suggested to University Affairs, and I will send this to External Affairs. Shout out External Affairs. You guys are getting the parking.
We can take some.
You have 20 legislative referrals in your committee. Okay. I actually think so. I think 20 is a close number. Okay. Next legislative referral is from Senator Olgan again, titled Enhance Awareness of Free Textbook Reserve Program. The request is, I propose implementing a system to increase awareness of the CSUN Library's free textbook reserve program for all subjects and classes. As tuition and living costs rise, many students face financial challenges that hinder their academic success. While the library's initiative to provide textbooks for checkout is a valuable resource for low-income students, many professors, particularly part-time and substitute faculty, may not be aware of it. To address this, we could establish reminders via Canvas pop-up alerts or email notifications sent out before the semester, a week prior, and during the first week of classes. This proactive approach will help ensure that more professors utilize the program, ultimately promoting educational equity and supporting our diverse student population. Thank you for considering this critical enhancement. You're welcome. This was suggested to University Affairs, and I'm actually going to send this to Internal Affairs. See, I'm doing some crazy stuff right now, guys. Last referral of the fall semester. From Senator Miyoshi, titled Dimmable Lights in Student Housing. The request is to request the switch to or installation of dimmable lights where applicable for student housing dorms, which would allow people to adjust the illumination of their residence to the level they find most comfortable, if not necessary, to prevent sensory overload. This was suggested to University Affairs, and I'm going to send this to Internal Affairs. That is all. Okay. We'll now move past legislative referrals into announcements. Vice President Khan, go ahead.
I sent an email on Friday, which everyone saw, right? It's about the food drive we're doing. It's actually just a donation drive. I keep saying food drive. It's not a food drive. It's a donation drive. Where we can bring basic needs like toothbrushes, deodorants, things like that, and non-perishable food items. And this is in collaboration with sport clubs. Lorena's like smiling at me right now. It's kind of silly. Hey. This is in collaboration with sport clubs. Really exciting. They'll be having a competition amongst themselves, as well as with AS leadership, us, AS staff, so any student employee or employee of AS, and sport club as a whole. So I love a competition personally, and I know you all do too. So we will be bringing in a lot of non-perishable things. Yes, cool. And our biggest donation day we want to see is this Wednesday at the DEI Week event, where we'll be talking about, or we'll be hosting some basic needs tabling, and we'll also have a station set up for us to donate. So also spread the word to your friends, colleagues, different clubs, organizations you're a part of who wants to do some like philanthropy work. We can give them a shout out. I don't know if we can give them anything else, but a shout out should be sufficient. I mean, who doesn't want a shout out from AS leadership? So yeah, if you haven't already seen the email, read the email. If you haven't already looked through your things to see if you could donate anything / if anything's on sale for you to buy and donate, do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Toledo Carranza.
Just two announcements. I feel like Iman already stole one announcement. Sport Clubs is collaborating with Season Food Pantry for a donation drive. It started on November 12th to the 21st. And all donations can be made at the AS Athletic Training office located in the Grand Salon in the USU. And if you're a non-participant and would like to donate, pick your favorite sport club and help them collect the most cans because we're also doing a competition amongst ourselves, which comes to a Sport Club's Cup. And the sport club that gets the most point will get like a $250 Days and Busters games. And then another announcement, we're having sport clubs. We're doing sports gaming potluck. That is happening on November 21st from 11 to 2 p.m. at the Grand Salon. If you guys want to come and just like hang out and meet, I don't know, maybe like just share with sport club athletes and get to know them and, just chat a little bit. We'll be there.
Thank you. Senator Harris.
I just have a question for Lorena. Is this like leadership going against one like sports club like that is involving the 200 sports clubs we have, or is it just sports clubs like one?
As in like if AS leadership will go, it's like competing against all the sport clubs. Is that what you're
So
saying?
the 25 people we have
Yeah.
versus the 200?
So it would be like the whole AS leadership department with the whole AS sport clubs. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Read the email. Read the email. It'll explain it.
Thank you. Senator Miyoshi.
I don't exactly have any perishable food to give, but if I want to donate to the food pantry itself, do they actually facilitate monetary donations or no?
I'm not sure, but we can get you a follow-up after this meeting. If anyone has any questions about the food drive, we can ask after this meeting. Senator Pulliam.
Fun stuff. It's been a minute since we've all been here. I went to Big Party, Silent Disco, and the first gen. I helped table. Other than that, I went to the game match of the month. Guys, we all should show up. I went for the second half. So there was the men's playing and then the women's soccer team playing. Women's soccer, I think it was like 3 or 2-0. We won. It was a good match against Claremont. And then a fun little announcement about my personal project is I was like planning on trying to do a mural, but instead that wasn't able to be done. But I got a display case in my building. So that's something that I'm working on, picking a deaf artist to be able to put their artwork in there and commission them for that. I can always update you guys if you guys want more information on that. And then lastly, I would like to highlight about the DEI, oh my goodness, the Together We Thrive week. On Thursday, y'all should go. From the 4 to 6 about the like deaf and hard of hearing community, basically from 4 to 5, it's gonna be one of the NCOD's academic advisors. And then his name's Zachary Lutane. And then fun thing, if you want to learn a little bit about them beforehand, their wife actually runs an Instagram influencer profile, which is called Our Signed World, and it's really cute. It's her. She's actually an interpreter here at CSUN. It was funny. I had her in one of my classes interpreting, and then she popped up on my feed. I was like, wait a moment, same person, same person. And it's about their family and how it is. They have some fun content. And then I'm going to do my best to be there, and hopefully I could see you all there as well. And the second hour is for Deaf CSUNians, and they're going to have a Q&A and talking about their experiences. So that'll be students themselves. And hopefully this extra information helped encourage you to go now that you know a little more about what's happening. Anyway, that's me. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other announcements? Tim?
Yes, with the basic needs and the monetary donation, if you go to CSUN Heart, there's a drop down that can show you how to do monetary donations, as well as perishables, as well as your time. So they also are looking for people to volunteer. So CSUN Heart.
Thank you. Senator Pulliam.
Sorry, I forgot to mention. I also went to Big Lecture, and I was chatting with a deaf student that was talking about how on that flyer, like, until they messaged the Instagram about it, AS Instagram, there wasn't an interpreter like thing on it saying that. So as you plan your events, remember to put like any event in general, like, oh, if it's smaller events that interpreters aren't automatically going to be provided, that who to contact for if they need like interpreters or different accommodations, because don't assume everybody in your college is hearing. So you want to be able to reach out and be able to like invite like different members within your college, because there's a lot of deaf individuals that are not deaf studies. I'd probably say majority probably aren't, but that's just me saying that. Don't take my word for that.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements? Senator Carranza.
Just a question, Tim. You explained, you mentioned about basic needs volunteering. Can you explain that a little bit more?
It just says they want volunteers on their website. It's a drop down. That's all
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Thank you so
And you
much.
can reach out to them.
Thank you. Doesn't seem like there's any more announcements, are there? Okay. Okay, then we'll move into final roll call with Government Secretary Moss.
Vice President Khan.
Here.
Senator Aronson.
Here.
Senator Ellis.
Here.
Senator Flores.
Here.
Senator Gavino.
Here.
Senator Jimeniano Aragon.
Here.
Senator Harris.
Here.
Senator Covenia.
Here.
Senator Miyoshi.
Here.
Senator Nunez.
Here.
Senator Olgun. Senator Perez.
Here.
Senator Pulliam.
Here.
Senator Weta.
Here.
Senator Shirzadi.
Here.
Senator Toledo Carranza.
Here.
Senator Tran.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will adjourn this meeting at 10:24 a.m. Group photo, 11 o'clock, Matador Square. Be there or be not square, because you won't be at the Matador Square.